At Kroger, we believe local produce shouldn't be hard to find. That's why we work with local farms right in our own backyard to bring the fresh produce you love to our stores. From homegrown watermelon that makes your mouth water to crisp corn picked right around the corner. Come pick out some yourself, because shopping for local produce should be as easy as shopping at your local Kroger. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Welcome to Great Match Generator, episode 26 on the Social Suplex Podcast Network here on the weekend. We're recording this on a Friday, so I normally say on a Friday or something, but then I make it time sensitive by saying on a Friday or something. But I'm here with Adam. How are you doing, Adam?
I'm good. Nothing crazy in the wrestling world right now.
People shooting on each other.
Yeah. Crazy.
We're not here to talk about that.
Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that. That hasn't already been said 1,000 times. Yeah, let's see what else we got. What else is new? Well, I work for bodyslam.net now. That happened.
That happened out of the blue.
They asked me. I had no idea there was even like a thought behind it. And then So, I'm going to All Out. I'm going to the Wrestling Revolver show Sunday to see Moxley and others. It'll be my first day off in 2 weeks. I'll probably go to
straight days of working. Wonderful.
Yeah. And then so my schedule's supposed to be Monday through Friday, and as we were leaving today, we had an easy shift today. Not an easy shift, but an early, we got out early. My boss looks at me, she's like, "Hey, would you work next weekend too?" I was like, "God damn it. Yes." Need the overtime, yes. But wish you wouldn't have asked. Yeah, just crazy stuff going on. I think I'm going to GCW, the Art of War, too. Lots of wrestling, lots of stuff, craziness all around.
Yeah, it's just been craziness all around the wrestling world, and it's never going to stop. WrestleMania is coming to Philly.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That happened in the midst of the Triple H craziness. So it's going to blow my mind once everybody congregates to here in like a year and a half.
I might go. I might just go to like some indie shows or something. I won't go to the, WWE shows or anything.
I'm probably going to go to Mania because one night. It's not both nights because that would be such a drag. I'm probably going to go to Sunday.
I was talking to an indie promoter the other day, and I was talking. I was like, I always dreamed of going to WrestleMania. And now it's if I went, I'd go to every show except WrestleMania. It's just weird, Yeah,
it is weird. It is really weird. And now it's going to be in my city, so it is weird. So, we have 4 great matches for you, like always on Great Match Generator on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. We have for you, Fuerza Guerrera versus Octagon from CMLL, 11-1-91, or it could be 11-3-91, depending on what day you use or whatnot. Then we have Steiner Brothers versus Tatsumi Fujinami and Iizuka, Takashi Azuka from WCW, May 17th, 1992.
Yeah,
Then we have Wrestle War. Yep. Then we have Toshiaki Kawada versus Masa Fuchi versus Yuji Nagata and Takashi Iizuka. Yes, of all the wrestlers, we got 2 matches. We got 2 Iizuka matches.
Yeah, you think all the greats, Steamboat, Danielson, Kobashi, Toyota, Azuka, that's what I think of. That's I still don't know how that happened. That's awesome though.
New Japan Pro Wrestling, 12/14, 2000, and then Finlay versus. Well, we're gonna have a tough conversation today. Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
WWE Judgment Day, 5/21/2006. And we're saving that Benoit match for the last because we normally go in date order. And now we're going to Octagon versus Fuerza Guerrera. From CMLL. Because we go in date order. So
yes. Match had a hot start. Crowd's hot, I really liked all three falls, if you go back and watch some of those old lucha matches, how sometimes you feel like a fall got wasted, like there's always like the one where like the heel gets the cheap victory in the second or something, something like that, and it's like 3 minutes, it's nothing, this didn't really feel like that. I liked a lot in this. There was like a couple moves I had. There was a nasty spine buster. Did you watch this? When did you watch this?
Yeah, I watched this on YouTube.
I know. I mean, when did you watch it?
I watched it about a few days ago.
Okay. Did you watch Penta and Phoenix versus Andrade and
Ruth? Yes, I did. And
so when they tied up Pentagon's mask into the ropes, I was like, shit, where have I seen that spot recently?
In this match.
Like, yeah, Octagon versus Fuerza, yeah. Yeah, it was some good blood, but like a good lucha bloodbath, it didn't get super bloody, but fun shit. Decent. Like the second, like what I was saying about the falls, the second fall was very compelling, and they did. I liked that they were doing like they made the submissions look like a struggle, Yeah,
I really like that the submissions looked like struggles, and the blood really added to the match.
Yeah, and then the third was very dramatic too. So it was, really good lucha matches. I mean, that's my type of shit, lucha's my thing, kind of, like it's what I like to like just kind of put on, I don't like think about it, review it, like write down, it's I'll just like throw on an old playlist of CMLL or something some days and just like have it on as background noise, just look up and be like, oh hey, cool.
You know what bothers me a lot about trying to throw something random on now? The algorithm really bothers me now because the algorithm tries to steer you away from what you're trying to watch or the vibe you're trying to watch.
So when that first started, I remember, I don't remember what I was watching, man, but I fell asleep for a minute. I woke up and Vince Russo's yelling at me on an old TNA pay-per-view. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I just make playlists from now on. Like if I'm doing like a watch party on Discord or something or whatever, or if I just
I'm gonna make I made like huge playlists and stuff like that, but I don't want to make a playlist for everything. It's just like these algorithms suck.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to hear Vince Russo or any wrestler, honestly. Some wrestlers I'd rather hear more than others, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's just annoying that the algorithm wants, because I watch other things other than wrestling on YouTube too.
Oh yeah, I'll have like some wild shit, like it'll be like the Joe Budden podcast or like a rap battle will come on and I'll be like, whoa, I was trying to watch.
It'll be like I'm watching some CMLL shit or some All Japan shit, and then all of a sudden Duck Demuro comes on. I'm like, what the fuck? It's hard to fall asleep to that kind of
Yeah.
Not that you want to fall asleep to it. It's just like sometimes nature that you watch things.
Do you watch shoot interviews too?
I do.
Yeah, that'll pop up. And but it'll be it'll be someone you just don't. I won't name names, but it'll be someone you just don't give a fuck about.
Yeah. It'll be Kevin Nash.
There we are.
Kevin fucking Nash. And
the Kevin Nash shoot interview where he's like eating a salad.
Or the Kevin Nash podcast with Sean fucking Oliver, and I'm like,
I haven't listened to that. I won't listen to it. I found I was listening to an old Between the Sheets. Sorry, we're getting off track, y'all. But
no, this is bound to happen. But
yeah, so I was listening to an old Between the Sheets, and it was about the last Nitro before Russo took over, and they had Nash out there doing commentary, and it's become a joke between me and like Gage, Joe, Andrew, a few others, where Dave says in the Observer write-up, he's like, talking about Nash doing commentary. It's like, so you can add commentary to wrestling, booking, and doing interviews to the list of things Kevin Nash doesn't do well. For some reason, it's the funniest shit I've ever heard. And so we just started adding everything else to the list. Like, there was some really bad quote that
he doesn't even do the hair flip well.
Yeah, there's a compilation of Nash on commentary from that episode, by the way, and it's great. It's like, because it's not great, it's horrible, but it's also great. Yeah, it's fucking Kevin Nash. Yeah, to the list of things he doesn't do well.
Yeah, but it's fucking Nash. You don't care.
Yeah. Oh man, you remember Al Green?
But we gotta get back to this match. Yeah. What did you?
I went 4 1/4.
I went 4.5.
Okay, it's right there.
I believe I went 4.5. I might have went 4 1/4. Let me find it. Let me find Octagon. Where's it? Where's it? I have to find it. 4 1/4. 4 1/4.
Okay, yeah. See?
4.5. 4.5. 4.5. 4.5. 4.5.
Okay.
I just like bloody wrestling more.
Yeah.
And it's just like you're listening to these, and these guys just beat the shit out of each other. It's not like your standard like lucha flying fest.
Yeah, yeah.
And Octagon is a little awkward sometimes.
Yeah,
which prevents it from going to the next level for me. Up next we have the Steiners versus Fujinami and Azuka. The first of 2 Takashi Iizuka matches, and we're covering Azuka twice in a row. So this is the Takashi Iizuka show, baby.
I can't seem to find my notes for that match, which is weird. It's real weird because that's like in the same. Should be in the same notebook. I don't know what happened here.
So I did take notes for this one, so I did take notes.
I gave it 4. I remember the crowd. Like I remembered, how like we had to deal with that god awful discourse about like Forbidden Door. It was like, we need an 8-minute vignette for El Phantasmo and whoever else. I'd assume they did a hell of a lot less to hype up Fujinami and Azuka, and they probably did.
I think they just put these guys out there.
Yeah, and it's funny because the WCW crowds would like eat that type of match up, not knowing wrestler A and wrestler B. They just watched the match and they were like, "This fucking rules," And
Azuka was flying around the ring in this match.
Yeah.
And Jesse Ventura was already making the racist comments about the automakers.
So I wasn't really paying attention to the commentary because I actually did like I was just watching matches and I threw that on and we did like our own voice. So you know how like we kind of been doing those chats on Discord. Yeah, so it was kind of like me and Gage and some other people doing commentary to it, which meant we were just probably making Norm Macdonald jokes. But it
was probably a lot better than Jesse Ventura's commentary. I'll tell you that much because
Ventura would have hated our commentary. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yes.
Gorilla. Yeah. It was a really good match. I think I gave it like 4 even.
I gave it 4.25. The finishing stretch with the belly and belly double Japanese arm drag into the clothesline, nice high angle German spike pile driver. They did the Steiner line, top rope belly to belly onto Iizuka for the win by the Steiners.
Yeah, that top rope belly to belly got a pop, a massive pop. Yeah, I love the Steiners fucking rule.
This rule. I'm sorry. This rule. The Steiners rule. Azuka ruled. Fujinami rule. This has every recipe for the match to rule.
Yeah.
So
I gave WCW kind of gets slept on. I guess because there's like, I don't know, it is kind of a weird year, but like there's a lot of good shit going on in 1992 WCW. Also some bad shit, you know. I think Halloween Havoc won worst show of the year and had the worst match of the year. But, you know, still some fun shit in 92. And you got Sting, Steiner, the Vaders, the Steiners, Vaders, you know, lots of cool shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. It was really cool. Yeah. So sorry, I got distracted there. So we have the other Takashi Iizuka match with Yuji Nagata versus Masa Fuchi and Toshiaki Kawada. And this was on another level.
This was insane.
The heat. You could just tell. You could just tell from the very beginning.
Like, and it's so hot for the like the New Japan versus All Japan type stuff. Like, you know, Nagata's super over. I mean, everybody's super over, but Nagata's super over. Like, so much that like there was like this weird sound from the crowd when Nagata and Kawada both finally tagged in. You know, there's just great crap. Like I said with the crowd, they were chanting like they're chanting for Nagata. That you've got Liger and Kinsuke in the corner because they're like Kinsuke Sasaki because it's like, you know, they're Team New Japan, you know. Just major heat on this one.
Right.
Fuchi ends up hitting this crazy backdrop driver and like this, like it, like the crowd bit on this near fall so hard. And then you know, Azuka was great in this match too. Were we sleeping on Azuka? Azuka, like,
we're sleeping on Azuka because Azuka rules in this.
Yeah, there's this segment where he's got he's like kind of like a face in peril, but he's like firing back, you know. He just shows such great fire. I was like, I was like just popping so hard for it. I was like, please make the tag, like you know, cheering for him, you know. And then there's the hot tag.
And he finds Azuka where he sucked.
Yeah. And you know, you get the hot tag, and then Nagata's in there going crazy, and you know, they're throwing strikes around him and Kawada, who's a big surprise. Nagata was like my favorite wrestler in the world at one point, like before I got super into Danielson. I guess, well, it would have been like Nagata and Marufuji at the time. The massive pop. Kawada gets I think it was Nagata in the stretch plum that gets broken up, huge pop. There's like just a great spot where there's double submissions.
Yeah, the double submission one.
Yeah.
That double submission was so believable.
Yeah. Oh, I fucking loved it. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. My last note on this is this fucking rules. So yeah, I had fun watching.
I went full five.
See, I couldn't go the full 5 for some reason. Like my thing is, if I'm gonna go 5, I have to if I have to think about it, I can't go 5. It's 4 3/4.
Oh, I didn't think about it. It was like it was so easy for me. This is everything I want.
Oh yeah.
That last Nagata Kawada exchange, they rip each other into vicious face slaps, and then Nagata ends up getting the better of it with a cross arm breaker, and then the time limit just expires as this is how you do a fucking brawl.
Yeah, that is such a good match. Again, I love, like, if y'all follow me on Twitter, y'all know I'm a huge fan of the Holy Demon Army. So Kawada, like, you put Kawada in a tag match, I'm in. And then, like I just said, Nagata's one of my favorite ever, So that shit was so good to me.
Yeah, so, yeah, this was great. And I wasn't really expecting this to be great. I didn't know the lore behind this match, and oh boy, I was glad I knew the lore afterwards. Meltzer did rate this 5-star.
See, I think I'd seen this before, but it'd been a long, long time. So yeah, that was I was glad to watch it again, I'll tell you that much.
It just puts a big smile on your face.
Oh yeah. It's like, it's the type of wrestling that makes you want to watch more wrestling,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 5. Yeah, and that's why I gave it 5 stars. It's like, this is the type of wrestling you just can't deny.
Yeah, you watch it and you're like, shit, I want to watch it. Like, yo, someone send me another Kawada match. Someone send me another Nagata match. Something. Like, I want to watch this shit, man, Yeah.
So, next up, we have the Finlay versus Chris Benoit. We're going to have a tough conversation right now.
Do you want to start with the Benoit stuff or the...
Chris Benoit is an American pro wrestler that murdered his family and killed himself.
Yeah.
Let's just put it out there bluntly.
I think, I don't know, like, recently we just had the whole...
Dark Side of the Ring and...
Well, but like there was some discourse like a month ago from...
Jordan Grace.
Yes, and it was like, I don't know, it's like... I don't know. It's such a touchy subject.
I don't even want to touch that one.
Yeah. And I don't want to touch any of it. Like, it's, like, I don't know. I saw people, like, judging, like, Jericho, Nancy's sister. I saw people talking about, like, I think it gets real ugly when...
it's a lose situation talking about this guy. It's a lose situation.
Anytime David Benoit gets brought up, I get real uncomfortable. People talk about him in such a weird way, like
the other side, right?
They're like, he shouldn't wrestle with that last name. It's like, dude, that was his father. Like, you gotta think, like, not only would the events of the summer of 2007 be like, traumatic. Things weren't good in that house even before that. So like that kid had a rough childhood. Like, I don't know. Like I don't think you should judge the kid, especially since we don't know him. But he's not even a wrestler. You know what I mean? He's not even
in the public eye.
Yeah, he's just a fucking guy, like really, and like people, I don't know. He's not even, you know what I mean? Like
in the Benoit circle.
Right. I think like the weird like parasocial stuff that's going on lately with certain wrestlers in both big companies, honestly, and I mean some of the indies is kind of annoying. But at least like those are performers that are on your TV or on your stream, whatever, however you choose to watch whatever company. David Benoit is not. So like lay off him.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. I think Chris Benoit's fair game. That's how I feel about it. Because I can review a match of his and say it's objectively good or subjectively good. I've gotten better with Benoit separating the art from the artist, but not many other people separating the art from the artist.
I don't know. It's tough with Benoit. It's like, I don't know. You know what I think about actually? How did Benoit not get voted out of the Observer Hall of Fame? Like,
it was a very different time in 2007.
The overarching argument like that I hear is like they didn't want to set a precedent. It's like, set a precedent that murderers can't be in the fucking Hall of Fame. Like, feels like a decent precedent to set for me. Like, I don't know, but yeah, it's.
I don't think Halls of Fame are halls of very good people. That's.
Yeah, but. I mean, yeah, there's plenty of there's plenty of terrible people in the
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, in the Observer Hall of Fame and the Baseball Hall of Fame and the best, tons of these. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame is filled with them. The WWE Hall of Fame has an award named after one. But I feel like you can set the bar at murder. Like, I feel like that's the one, not using wrestler A's racism or wrestler B's history of these crimes or whatever. Not excusing those. But I'm saying we could set the bar at murder,
I just think at the time they didn't want to set any precedent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think is. I think if that vote were done today, I think he would be out.
Oh yeah, I think it would be. Benoit would be way out of there, but yeah.
And that's where that discourse comes from.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's a tough conversation to have because.
I mean, it's a conversation that needs to be had, especially since I don't know if you and your previous host had ever reviewed a Benoit match.
No.
I feel like we should set the precedent of like, having that conversation and saying like,
this is not a good dude. It's not a good dude. No.
And me personally,
not endorsing it. No.
I wouldn't. Okay, so I mean, I'm sure anyone listening or anyone that knows me or us knows like the precedent, like the way our podcast works is we took a list of the greatest matches ever from a project, and these are other people's lists, and I think you probably participated. I have not, and we throw them in a randomizer and we review four matches per show. And Benoit, like I wouldn't be sitting at home on a Thursday night like I was last night and just be like, damn, I want to watch a Benoit match. Like, no,
Neither would I.
Yeah, we watched this match for this podcast, and I feel like we should set a precedent of like how we feel about Benoit, you know. And I feel like when I guess part of why I was saying like we set the bar with Murder, like that way we don't have to, you know, relitigate every bad human in wrestling, like when we review a match, because like I'm sure.
No, because if we have to relitigate every bad human in wrestling, we would have to do every episode. Sure. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm sure, you know, not everyone. I'm sure, you know, the Steiners, for instance, I guess, for example, probably aren't saints, you know, but, you know, I don't want to talk about, like, every little thing they've done. I just want to talk about how their match rules. You know, with Benoit,
there are certain matches we're going to have to make a precedent for. And
yeah. And Benoit is also a special case of, like, it's such a big event in wrestling history.
Yes.
With that
said, the same precedent for anyone, for any major wrestler named in Speaking Out.
Yeah. If we were reviewing a Snuka match, I'd probably have to do the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Or
Snuka's probably
I think the David Starr Devlin match is in here.
Yeah. What did you think of the match?
3 3/4. Physical.
Yeah. I didn't even really give it a star rating. I probably would have given it 3.5, 3 3/4.
I still give it a star rating because I have to just to justify. I can do it for the French stuff because not give it a French because it's not in our era.
Yeah.
But for this, it's harder not to not give it a star rating because just say I'm not comfortable.
Yeah. It's I probably would give it 3.5, 3 3/4. I think like the first time I watched it, which would have been like live, I probably was thinking 4. On a rewatch, I'll probably give it 3.5. Only spot that really stood out to me, like, I don't know, I was kind of out of it watching that match. I remember...
I was out of it watching the match, too, because it was like...
You're watching a murderer. You're watching a dude that, you know, it's... Yeah. So, the opening...
And this is talking from somebody who still might have Benoit on his greatest wrestler list.
Yeah.
Objectively.
Yeah, it's
my criteria.
Benoit, Benoit, I've never seen a bad Benoit match. I've seen bad Bret Hart matches. I've seen bad Masawa matches. Like, you know, there's, you know, Danielson hasn't knocked it out of the park. Like, you know, Danielson's had bad opponents, you know. So he's had bad matches, I guess. You know, I don't know. I think I'd have Danielson. I mean, I'd have all these guys over Benoit, like, even without whatever. But, you know, I've never seen a bad Benoit match. Even with, like, fuckery booking and everything, I've never seen a bad Benoit match.
Right. Yeah, the Jordan Devlin. There are 2 Jordan Devlin David Starr matches in this.
Yeah, well, and
we're probably going to preface that one the same way we preface Benoit. Yeah. I was a big fan of that Jordan Devlin David Starr match from OTT, and I think I had it as my match of the year in 2019.
I think
I'm just bringing it up right now because
I was close. It would have been close for me. I'm trying to. I'd have to like sit there and look.
It was number 1 on my ballot.
I went 5 stars on it. I will admit I was a huge fan of David Starr, but keyword was, you know, and
keyword is was, yeah.
Yeah, and once all the stuff came out, you know, it was just like, fuck that guy.
Yeah. It's just, and then is there a Snuka match? I'm just looking at it.
The spot I was telling you about before we started recording, Um,
There's
17
one
told
something
me
match, and it's Terry and Dory Funk versus Bruiser Brody and Jimmy Snuka.
that match is awesome. But you know me, I'm bigger on Brody than most, and
We might have the same conversation about Invader 1.
oh god, yeah, fucking Vader 1.
Because there's an Invader 1 Embry match and Invader match versus Star match.
We just talked about
Murderers.
led us to Brody, which led us to obviously something clicked, and it was like Invader 1. Like there's, you know, there is a
really isn't a precedent here.
Yeah.
Because Invader 1 wrestled after Brody died.
Invader 1, I was talking about this with someone the other day.
Never got arrested.
So not only did like Invader 1 keep wrestling and like pretty much nothing changed for him, like
and he made money off of Bruiser Brody.
Oh yeah, and Onita did that angle where and apparently Invader 1 wasn't and like didn't know about this. But Onita did that angle where he like faked being stabbed by Invader 1. And do you know like some of the rumors about like some of the rumors about why Onita wanted the match with Invader 1?
He wanted to kill him.
Yeah, he wanted to accuse him and fucking kill him. Which is just insane. Like that's an insane set of all this over fake wrestling, whatever. And
we may have to practice some of this shit over Onita too.
Yeah. Yeah, just crazy shit.
Jerry Lawler next week.
Who?
Next week, someone we might have to preface shit about. Jerry Lawler.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. If we do it about everyone in wrestling history, we won't have a show.
It's stuff that needs to be talked about, you know. I don't want it to be that show where we like say, hey, all your heroes suck. Especially since like, you know, I grew up loving Ultimate Warrior, you know. Like it sucks to find out these guys are terrible people. But like, whatever.
Oh, people are still defending Pete Rose for that rape accusation. I'm just giving an example recently.
Oh, God. Yeah, I didn't know about that. I live in Cincinnati. I've met Pete Rose twice. I met him as a child.
Right? So, I have nothing to say about the Benoit match.
Yeah, I don't. Actually, yeah. I was going to point out that I remembered 17-year-old me loved that collar and elbow spot, which is really weird. But like,
what, the collar and elbows? Where they
like went to the outside. Yeah.
That's a unique spot in this match. I'm like, they just fucking brawled throughout the match, and it was good. I'm like, what more can we say about Chris Benoit? Yeah,
I mean, you know, there's the books. There's 3 different books I know because I was scrolling furiously through 2 looking for a quote recently and had to end up DMing a buddy to get the quote because he had the other book that I don't have. I don't even remember. I think he has Ring of Hell. I have Sid and Nancy, or Chris and Nancy, and there's one other one. And yeah, it's there's Dark Side of the Ring. Y'all can go read the Observers and listen to there's audio from that period.
I remember listening to it was called the Minority Report at the time. With Don Tony, Kevin Castle. And they did a show live when the whole Benoit shit broke, and that shit was wild.
Is there like a link to that?
I think he might have it out for free.
If you find it, text it to me.
Yeah,
I remember that night. Like I went to my buddy's house, my best friend in high school's house, and it was a group of us, and we wanted to watch because he was supposed to wrestle at that pay-per-view. I don't even remember what the pay-per-view was.
It was Vengeance.
Yeah, and he was supposed to wrestle Punk, correct?
He was supposed to wrestle Punk.
And we were so hyped because, you know, we were ROH guys. You know, we were going to every ROH show we could. We weren't around for Punk's era there, but we had Punk versus Joe on DVD. We had Punk versus Raven on DVD. We watched his feud with Jimmy Rave and loved that. You name it, whatever Punk did in ROH, you know, and other places, you know, Mid South, wherever you want to say.
Right.
You know, we oh God, someone's like drag racing down my street. That's the most annoying thing in the world. Sorry if there was background noise there.
No, you're fine.
But yeah, we were super excited for this Punk match, right? You know, we were like, Punk gets to wrestle Benoit. Like, we were hyped for Punk and we're hyped for the match, you know? And then they were like, yeah, due to circumstances, he can't make it. We're like, that's odd, you know? And then, like, the next day, it starts coming out. And then we, like...
died. And then
it's like, the kid's dead, and Nancy's dead. And then we're like, we're like...
maybe they broke in. And
yeah, and, you know...
it was after that Raw. It was after that Raw broke.
Well, so... Dave... There was a quote from, like... around that time on one of the audio shows Dave did.
That they fucking know?
That they knew and still went with the tribute show. This company, man.
And that was probably one of the premise of the Labs fan things about the Benoit tragedy.
Yeah.
Was
there's another thing I'd plug. You know, they have great, all their deep dives and stuff about stuff like that are great. You know, isn't the story that Regal found out what happened and then still had to go do like the
tribute?
Yeah, and that's why he's so like
vague.
Yeah, it looks like, well, he wears things so carefully, especially for a guy that, you know, had to be traumatized, and you know,
it's comedy self back.
Yeah. Yeah. Whew. Yeah, Benoit. That's...
yeah, it's not an easy conversation to have. And we brought a whole chivalry here.
Yeah. There's, you know, it just is what it is with Benoit. And I'm sure, you know, he's probably, because this probably isn't even like a top 20 Benoit match. So
if it was, then, and I would review it like it's a top 20 Benoit match. This is not a top 20 Benoit match. No. This is not Benoit versus fucking Sasuke. This is not the triple threat from WrestleMania 20.
You know what? I didn't really like that match that much. You know me, I'm bored to tears anytime I see Triple H. Sorry if, hot take. But, so I'm sure Benoit's going to be on this list a lot. I'm sure there's...
Benoit's on this list. I didn't actually count. Because he's the only Benoit here. Unless one of the French guys. He's only on this list 6 times.
Wow, that's kind of...
match. It's the Raw match, the Triple H Austin versus Benoit and Jericho, which is a top 20 Benoit match.
That's probably the second or third best.
Raw, the one that relates towards Quadrant.
Yeah, I'd have that as the second or third best Raw match ever. It's up there with Brett versus 1-2-3 Kid, and Cena versus Punk.
Kurt Angle and Benoit versus Edge and Rey Mysterio from No Mercy 2.
That popped up on we did a Rey Mysterio watch party on my Discord, and that popped up. I was like, nah, I don't need this right now.
It's on the same week as FTR versus Adam Page and Kenny Omega, just to say. And then
that's not like
Chris Benoit versus Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. And then we have Chris Benoit and Dean Malenko versus Eddie Guerrero and Chris Jericho. I don't even remember this match. And then Chris Benoit versus Steve Austin. No New Japan shit.
That is weird. Huh.
Let me see a Pegasus, because...
Oh, yeah, Pegasus Kid. Wild Pegasus, yeah.
Pegasus versus Sasuke.
Okay. That
94. That's coming up pretty soon, actually. And then Black Tiger 2 versus Pegasus. Eddie and Benoit.
Is that the one?
That's from New Japan.
Yeah, is that the one where he knocks Eddie out?
I think that is the one.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
That's only 8 Benoit matches in total.
And it's a pretty big list, so that's pretty shocking in a way, you know.
But let's preview the next 2 weeks, because we do have a repeat on our hands next week. But we have a lot to talk about with the 3 matches remaining. I think we'll have enough.
Yeah.
And we go on banters anyway. So the first match that is listed here is Kiyoshi Tamura versus Malachi Ilokeen. I'll show you how it's pronounced, because I'll share my screen with you. Not my entire screen. Cancel. But episode link. Okay. This guy. We did watch this match, I believe. It's a shoot style match.
Let me see. I think we have watched that one. Yeah, that sounds right.
Jerry Lawler versus Austin Idol from Memphis in 87. That'll give us a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Bret Hart versus Perfect from SummerSlam 91.
Classic.
And then Jun Akiyama versus Kenta Kobashi.
That's... Wait,
I
don't think I've seen that one, actually.
7/24/98. Then the week after, we have Triple H versus Chris Jericho from Fully Loaded. I know, you're so excited. We have another...
Can we get a Nash match, too?
And then we get...
That's unfair to Hunter. Hunter, the smartest man in wrestling.
Then we have Chris versus Metallica. The Hunter match actually might be the best match on here for week 5.
I haven't seen the CMLL match, so I don't know.
And I'm not going to rate the match because it's France.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have that coming up.
Yeah.
And Volkan. We have Volkan coming up.
Yeah.
Versus Yoshi Kashaka. And a lot of people think Volkan's an all-time great, yet he has only like 60 matches under his repertoire.
Yeah, that's what a wild career. There needs to be like a
documentary.
Yeah, someone's got to do, like, even if it's like not, I guess 60 matches, it's not like a deep dive, but
yeah, somebody's got to do
it. Someone get on that. One of you historians, y'all get on that. Y'all gotta review. Yeah, you gotta give me some Volkan content.
But Adam, you actually have something to plug.
I do. My Twitter at AdamMiri NTWF.
Message him for the link for the
for the link if you need it. And also starting September 10th for bodyslam.net, I will be doing a show called All Elite Weekly with Mike from Body Slam. He's he does a lot of their content, and he does a lot of their content. He's their social media manager. he and Cassidy Haynes, I guess, were looking for new content. They had a conversation. I guess my name came up, and here we are. Body Slam Net is officially at 1,000 subscribers now. We are close to partnering with YouTube, which would enable super chats. So y'all go hit the like button, subscribe, push the bell for notifications.
Do all that good stuff, man. Do all that good stuff for Social Suplex too. Because
Suplex too, of course.
Because we're trying to post clips on there. I am gonna start posting clips on there. I'm gonna separate all the match reviews. I'm probably gonna separate the Benoit conversation we had.
Probably. I mean, that would be the clip from this week.
That would be the clip. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that would be the clip. Yeah, that would be the clip from this week. I'm like, yeah. But DJ D Cook is on Twitter.
Yeah. Shout out to Social Suplex. Shout out to
Social Suplex. Yep. Social Suplex on YouTube too. That's where that actually now. One Nation Radio.
Yes.
Doing well with those YouTube shorts.
Yeah, and good for them. They have like probably the best modern day wrestling podcast out, in my opinion. But they also talk about the shit I like. You know, I mean, both wrestling wise and in life. You know, because they'll just be talking about rap or whatever, or basketball, whatever.
And we also have the New Japan show. We had the All Things Elite, the All Elite Match Guide. And then I think those are the consistent shows right now, and us right now. And then we of course have our Lucha Underground podcast, and then Lucha Undead, and then more. You can just check it out at socialsuplex.com as well. So thank you for listening, and you guys have a good time.
Peace.